All right, so Unit 4, Lesson 3. This one's called Say It with Decimals. We're going to look a little bit at the distributive property and then also continue practicing writing fractions as decimals. Okay, so long division. I know a lot of us are pretty good at this right now, but we have to review it until we're all experts. So first thing, long division is a way to divide numbers into decimal form, and you do it one quotient at a time. So for example, 57 divided by 4 could also look like 57 divided by 4, or this one. And when I'm dividing it, I want to think, how many times does 4 fit into 57? And you just go one step at a time. Does 4 fit into 5? Yes, it fits in one full time. And 1 times 4 is 4. I have a remainder of 1. I bring down my 7. How many times does 4 fit into this whole number, 17? 4 goes into 17 4 times. And 4 times 4 is 16. Now, because I'm not done, I still have this remainder of 1, I need to bring down a 0. I'm going to put it right here. But when I do that, I'm now going into my decimal place values. So how many times does 4 go into 10? It goes in 2 times. 4 times 2 is 8. I have a remainder of 2, so I have to keep going. How many times does 4 fit into 20? And now it looks like I'm done because 4 fits into 20 5 times and there's no remainder. So the answer is 14.25. It's just another way to write 57 fourths. They have equivalent values. Now sometimes you're going to come across something called a repeating decimal. And this is what happens when you do a long division and the decimal just keeps repeating itself. And now it may just repeat the same number, like 33333, or it could repeat something like this, right here, 36. This number right here, if written in decimal form, it would look like this, 1.36. And because the line is above the 3 and the 6, it would just continue to repeat 36 forever. So whenever you come across a repeating decimal, all you have to do is put a line on top of it, and that signifies that it's repeating. For example, if you look at this one, 1 divided by 3, how many times does 3 fit into 1? Well, it doesn't fit into 1, but it does fit into 10 3 times. And I'd have a remainder of 1. Bring down a 0. 3 goes into 10 3 times. And this would just keep repeating forever. So that's what a repeating decimal looks like. Okay, you can try these on by yourself first and then check your work. I'm just going to solve 2 of these long division here. 7 divided by 8, 7 divided by 8. How many times does 8 fit into 7? 8 doesn't fit into 7. So I'm going to add a 0 on top, and now I'm going to start with my decimals. How many times does 8 fit into 70? 8 times 9 is 72, which is too much, so 8 times 8 is going to be the next one. 8 times 8 is 64. I find my remainder of 6, bring down a 0. How many times does 8 fit into 60? 8 times 7 is 56. Find my remainder of 40. Bring down the next 0. I'm just going to keep going until I either have a repeating decimal or I finish. 8 times. How many times does 8 go into 40? 5 times perfectly. So I'm done. 0.875. Now this one, what is the decimal representation of 11 divided by 30? Well, how many times does 30 go into 11? It doesn't go into 11, so I'm going to add a 0. How many times does 30 fit into 110? Well, 30, 60, 90, 120, so it's going to fit in 3 times. 3 times 30 is 90. I have a remainder of 20. I'm going to bring down a 0 because I still have this remainder. I know that 3 times 7 is 21. So 30 times 7 would be 210. So it's not going to be 7. It's going to be 30 times 6. And 3 times 6 is 18. So it's going to be 180. I have a remainder of 20. Bring down a 0. Uh-oh. Maybe you see what's going to happen here. This is just going to continue to be repeated. 30 goes into 200, 6 times, 180, remainder of 20, and it's just going to keep going. So what I can do is just stop there, and I can put a repeating decimal sign on top. So the answer is just going to be 0.36 repeating. All right, here's a little introduction to distributive property. The distributive property is something that you're going to spend a lot of time on in 8th grade, but we're going to start looking at it in 7th grade. So here's a question. Miss Talsness has 6 bags of candy, and Mr. Straffen has 1/2 more than that. How much candy does Mr. Straffen have? So here you can see that I've drawn 6 bags of candy. So this is going to be Talsness. Below, we're going to do Straffen. So 1/2 more is another way of saying that you have the full. So let's say Miss Talsness has X amount of candy, and Mr. Straffen has 1/2 more of X. So in total, I'm going to have X plus 1/2 X. I'm going to have 1.5 X. So in this case, Miss Talsness has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to have also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags of candy plus 1/2 more. Now, if I cut this candy in half, I can see that 3 bags of candy are half of what Miss Talsness had originally. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 3 more. 1, 2, 3. So in total, I have 9 bags of candy. All right, so now we're getting a little bit trickier with our last problem. Only focus on A right now, okay? So A has this interesting diagram here where I can see X and I can see Y. And X has 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, and Y has 1, 2, 3 blocks, right? So how much does X have? Or what description would signify X? Well, if Y is built up of 1, 2, let's say 3 bags of candy, and X has 1 more, it has 1 more than the original. And the original had 3 bags of candy, or three blocks. 1, 2, 3. So Y is, or X is increased by 1/3. You can see that X is an increase of 1/3. And it's 1/3 because it has, Y is my original. Y has 1, 2, 3, and it has 1 more piece of that. So 1 more of those thirds. Now, how much is Y of X? Now, I see that X is made up of 4 pieces, and Y is made up of 3. So if I start with X thinking X is 4, and then I lose 1 piece to make Y, what is Y equal to? Well, Y is going to be equal to 0.75x, because it's 1/4 less than X, and 1/4 is the same as 0.25. So this would also signify Y as my equation. Let's just do the bottom one now. X is made up of 4 pieces, and Y is made up of 5 pieces. So we can look at it in 2 ways. So x, if I wanted to go from x to y, I would have to increase, and I have to look at how many pieces x is made up of. X is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, plus 1 more. And if it's made up of 4 pieces, each piece is worth a fourth. So it would be an increase of 1/4. Y would be an increase of 1/4. I know this is really messy and I apologize. Now, if I'm looking at the equation, y has gotten bigger than x, so I know I'm going to be multiplying by a number greater than 1. So in this case, because I know I'm increasing by a fourth, I can say that y is equal to 1.25x, because it's equal to x plus another quarter. Don't worry, guys, if that was confusing, we will work on it in class, or ask me some questions, all right?